welcome you all on this webinar regarding outsourcing of finance and legal function, which of course we discuss is a mantra to enhance your business. This is powered by Let's Comply, which is a legal finance and tax at click. It's a professional organization who provides their professional services with the help of experienced professionals. We have with us Mr. Modi, who is experienced professional chartered accountant, has served for more than 10 years with Ernst & Young, and now of course running his own consulting firm. Apart from that, we've been discussing and taking questions from the people, from our esteemed guests, from our entrepreneurs, those who are starting their professional career in terms of their business, in terms of their entrepreneurship, in terms of their profession, to grow and join hands with us to understand what are the intricacies and other processes wherein they can take advantage of outsourcing.
Hi guys, just a flash information. You can post your comments in the comment box below on the website. A question just floated in. So sir, what is outsourcing all about?
It is extension of your own arm. I mean, everybody has its own limitations. Anybody and everybody can't work for all the kind of activities. Reason the expertise does matter. It is not that I am capable of doing each and every activity. Specifically in today's era, wherein the startups, the young entrepreneurs coming out with different kind of ideas, they have execution capabilities, but not necessarily for all the dimensions. There are various things, various options, various fields, various activities to be performed. Not necessarily they'll be able to do 100%. If they cannot do 100%, and even if out of 5 or 6 core activities, if 1 or 2 also they lag, and they are not able to execute them properly, certainly it will have an impact on the overall working of the organization. To have control on all the activities, either you develop in-house capability or you shake hand with the other capable people, those having expertise and capability in those domains itself. So outsourcing is basically you source the capabilities from outside than your in-house people. So it is basically seeking help from the concerned professional, concerned domain experts, wherein they can provide those services and can help you grow faster. So not necessarily those are any kind of a people, but certainly yes, they should have those capabilities. It's a very clear saying and very openly discussed phrase that let the experts do their job. And if you get involved in all the activities, certainly it will have an impact on overall activities. So therefore, outsourcing is seeking assistance, availing services, and sharing your responsibilities to the concerned and right people, those have domain expertise. Like in this today we are supposed to talk about outsourcing of legal and finance activities. So therefore, legal and finance activities, the professionals like us has expert domain knowledge, have been serving industry for a period of time at a great level, senior level, understand where the pain is. To take care of that pain, to settle that pain, we can provide, or people, professionals like us can provide those kind of support services. So therefore, outsourcing is availing services from other professionals. Outsourcing is taking assistance from other professionals. Outsourcing is taking advantage of their domain expertise and then services. That's the outsourcing.
So one more doubt that the people are having currently is how safe is outsourcing exactly? Because in this, you will be outsourcing the questions to, you'll be outsourcing a data to the other companies. So is it safe? Will the companies manage the data efficiently?
but you're right. In fact, just a thought, not necessarily it is like that. I mean, obviously, while choosing your right partner for outsourcing activities, you have to be little careful. You have to be very diligent enough. You must do your due diligence exercise that with whom you are going to shake hands. More specifically, finance and legal expertise are the operations are very much specific and sensitive. They carry all the basic and confidential information. You do your basic due diligence, you do the basic checking, and ensure about the capabilities of the people, the professionals to whom you are sharing hands. If you have done the basic checking and working, obviously they also have to do their business. They are expert enough and they understand the value of confidentiality. They understand the value of data. They understand how to ensure that it should not get shared with anybody else. So undoubtedly, it is fully secured. It is fully confidential. But yes, certainly you have to ensure that you choose the right partner who will provide you all these kind of support and services. I mean, you cannot go with anybody and everybody because these are very sensitive and serious matters. The financial matters, wherein not only just the financial statements, which of course available publicly, but certainly there are much more information which you do transaction advisory, you do transaction activities, wherein the kind of relationship you have with your vendor, the relationship that you have with people, the relationship that you have with your customers, all are being shared. So certainly to take care of that, you must having somebody to whom you can trust upon, to whose systems and processes are in such a way, those not only with themselves, but even they also have a proper confidentiality and NDA agreement with their own employees. Because it is not the organization with whom you are sharing the information, but obviously their employees of that organization also becomes critical and important. And unless they are aware of all these things, how to do all these things, and to ensure, protect or take care of your data, it is very important. So therefore, yes, you are right. It is important and pertinent to have those kind of agreement and processes in place, wherein in fact you are sure about the confidential data. But yes, it is not big rocket science. Also, you must do your due diligence. In any case, in fact, you have to share a lot of data. Suppose you go to the client, prospective client, they expect you provide all the basic information on which you process their data, on what you have the existing client base, what kind of vendors you have, what kind of sourcing policies. So in any case, you are going to share the data to the rest of the world. But you must ensure that basic checking and verification is very critical part, which of course you must do that. If you do that, you are having the basic concerns of all these things. Certainly, there is not going to be any concern in terms of confidentiality of your information to whom you are outsourcing the activities.
So we just had a question float in by Mr. Devashish, and he wants to ask that why would you outsource if the employees are doing their jobs efficiently? This is basically for the big organizations that are already set up who have the in-house capabilities.
Yes, rightly said that if I have the own capability,
should I outsource to somebody else? But answer to Mr. Devashish's question is very easy and simple. You have certain expertise. Would you like to divide your expertise, time and attention and your bandwidth to the activities which are not your core activities? Somebody is expert doing some of the activities. Let him take care of the job, and your activity should be how to grow the business. I mean, taking care of, say, some of the support function like finance and legal is not your core activities. You may not be having that kind of expertise. You may not be having the kind of professionals who can understand and give you the desired results. You may have a team, undoubtedly, but supervision also a big cost. And to ensure that cost, minimizing of that cost, and I would say not just that reducing the cost, because reduction of cost is not the only purpose of this outsourcing, but the ultimate achievement of the quality. The requirement is to achieve the desired quality is most important. So therefore, to ensure that qualitative input is coming, because you cannot, I mean, the leaders of any organization cannot give 100% of their time and attention and understanding of the support function, because their main job is to grow the business. To grow the business, they have to ensure, one, of course, doing the business development, to ensure marketing, to ensure execution, to take care of the operations, couple of activities which are the support function. Obviously, in fact, normally it's being seen that not 100% attention being given, and if not 100% attention being given, some kind of compromises happens. So, and obviously things do not taken up for the reason that when it compromises, there are certain issues happen. So therefore, rather than compromising, having the team, having people in such a way who can create those kind of bandwidth, better to avail the services of the professionals who can deliver you better. So therefore, even if you have your in-house people, even if you have the capable people, even if you have the team which can, I have seen the big organizations, more specifically, they have a huge number of data, the huge number of input, the huge number of documents, to ensuring that yes, it is being managed properly, this is being taken care not properly. So therefore, they also prefer to outsource the activities. Reason, they can understand this process well, they can deliver you the well, they may create you some kind of dashboard, they may create you some kind of MIS, wherein the understanding of data becomes very important. Data is, and maybe in fact, some kind of number. Every function head looks at the data differently. How to ensure that all the functions understanding being put up and produced before the top management in such a way so that it communicates to them in their own language. That is what the function of outsourcing and the expert domain helps you, because what happens is he'll be able to communicate after understanding the data as per their understanding, because that's what he's been doing. So therefore, that is also important to understand the data and communicate in their own language as per the department function. So not necessarily that you have your own people, even if it's a big organization. Even I've noticed that big organization, they may, if they have a couple of organizations, they even may create their own shared services. They consider that let's outsource to their own entity. So they develop the team of expert professionals who eventually become a part of the organization, but they consider it as if the activity is being outsourced. More especially for the reason, today's days, why any cost center is available in the business. So that shared services also becomes a profit center. At arm's length, the activities are being outsourced to that shared services division, and therefore accordingly shared services also becomes a separate profit center.
So therefore, it is not just a matter whether it is in-house team you have, whether it is small organization or big organization. It is important how and to what extent you can avail the services of the professionals, the experts, the domain knowledge experts. That what is important is, it does not matter with small organization, big organization, and how fast you can get the work done. So therefore, I don't see any reason why you can't outsource your activities, even if you have your own domain expert, your own team. So there's no concern in that case. Next question is coming: what benefits are of outsourcing finance and accounting? I think so. That's what we are discussing, that there are various benefits. The major benefits we discuss is the understanding and the domain expertise, which helps. And obviously the domain expertise is what helps you to grow faster, wherein you do not spend time and energy to managing the affairs which are not core activities of your business, but to understand and focus your time and attention to the core activities of your business. Expanding business is more important. Taking care of support function with the help of experts, I think so, would be more sensible, so that you also grow fast, let your partners also grow fast, let them focus on their activities and you focus on your own activities. So that's what I believe is the belief and the correct position is. So therefore, yes, it is important to outsource these activities. More specifically, this accounting and finance activities is a bit kind of technical understanding. There are various, not only the function, but also various government departments, but also various government agencies, various forms, there are statutory compliances, there are timelines. If you do not abide by those timelines, unnecessary penalties there, unnecessary fees you have to pay, and of course, beyond that, there is a big harassment from the government department. So it is not something which is wrong. Yes, we have to abide by the laws of the land. But certainly, either we focus on our business activities or we focus on each and every parameters. Focusing on each and every parameter, certainly bandwidth gets choked. We'll get into all these activities. Therefore, it is better to shake hand and get involved in some of the professional agencies who can provide you the kind of assistance required to grow and to concentrate on your business. So that's what I think. So it's important to, and still preferable to outsource your activities. Okay, Mr. Abhishek, isn't outsourcing just like hiring a temp? Obviously not. I mean, hiring a temp means supervision cost still, not only just the cost, the supervision input, the supervision time, the supervision pain, the supervision cost still, of course, remains with you. And the temp is just doing the data entry. And for that matter, I don't know, in fact, what benefit this temp is providing to you. It is certainly, yes, you need to provide all those kind of assistance. Whatever the temp is required, he is sitting in your infrastructure. You need to manage his services. You need to run the operations. You need to understand all those kind of things, which of course is not the purpose of outsourcing. As we discussed and we in fact wrote very clearly, outsourcing is wherein the experts give you their expert advice. They'll help you taking it forward to understand all these things, and they'll make you free from the running business and operations. It is not just providing few bottom of the pyramid people who will do the data entry. Data entry is just one of the activity. Undoubtedly, that's important, and the correctness and the way it is being entered is also important. But certainly, yes, how ensure the correctness and quality of the data entry, and obviously to supervise, to monitor, to take it forward in such a way wherein the concerned people, the concerned function head, the concerned department can understand how this is being, how this can be monitored, how this can be understood, how this can be taken it in such a way so that his function, his department can certainly, yes, derive the benefit or understanding of the data, because number is just a number unless it's understood well. So therefore, hiring a temp is not just the outsourcing. Outsourcing is huge advantage. Hiring a temp is just a temporary, where in fact you probably are not getting the right person for the in his replacement. You just to manage it and just having the person there. That's it. So it's a huge difference just hiring a temp.
We have Mr. Modi connecting with us in a couple of seconds. Till then, sir will take a few questions.
We have Ms. Tyagi, who is asking, why would a business organization decide to outsource? Yes, it is. I mean, I think so. In fact, more or less the questions are coming in, why should we outsource? What is the advantage of outsourcing? And that's what we've been talking also, that outsourcing is an activity wherein the business, so if he really wants to grow the business and he really wants to grow the organization, outsourcing is a big success. I mean, even if you see the very tagline of our today's webinar is also that outsourcing is a mantra to grow your business. So similarly, therefore, I mean, if we are talking about this is why we should outsource. So very purpose of outsource is so that we can just share our burden, share our responsibility, share our processes, wherein somebody who is domain expert, who understands this process well, who understands the numbers well, who can prepare and not only enter the data, but communicate and let us understand what is the meaning of this data, what is the meaning of this number, and not only just that, but ensure proper compliance. Compliance is such an important aspect, not only for the purpose of the startup, but also for the purpose of all these running organizations. So therefore compliance is very important and very important aspect. So we have to ensure this outsourcing is just not the data entry, but also monitoring, understanding the number, and certainly, yes, the compliance part. Compliance, we understand how important it is in today's world. I mean, we are talking about not just legal compliance, every function compliance. I would accounting for compliance, taxation compliance, I would say internal compliance of operations, how the processes are being defined, how the systems are being developed. So each and everything is become important. So outsourcing is not just data entry or just kind of bookkeeping or something of that sort. It is an wholesome activity wherein the data entry, yes, certainly, but ensuring the fully compliance record entry and communicating and understanding the concerned department how this data is interpretation happens. So outsourcing is, in a true word, sharing the responsibility and communicating and updating what all kind of activities can be done, how this can be done, what are the advantages of doing this, why should I do that. I tell you, there are few instances. Suppose there are cyclical business. There are some of the activities which you should not be, hiring the people for that matter. So if you are not having enough requirement of people, but still you are continuing those employees, it is a cost to you. But if you have outsourced, you can change the cost based on your requirement, and accordingly you can develop that. So outsourcing is totally different, and it is advantage to grow the business.
Respected guests, I would like to take 5 minutes of your time. It's a short break so that we can have our other guests connected with us. Welcome back, guys. We are going live again.
Mr. Aryan would like to ask that whom you prefer to outsource, a freelance or organized professional firm? It's a major concern, not only just the cost, but also the capabilities. When we talk about outsourcing, we are considering the qualitative input, we are considering the domain experts, we need to consider who has the better understanding of the requirements. Freelancer, yes, they may have very specific understanding of a small part of the business. They may provide you some kind of support function, but not necessarily in wholesome. While we are talking about the outsourcing of activities, it means that we are talking about providing support function to a business who understand not only provides you not only the support function, but also understand your business, and based on your business requirement would provide you the complete support function. Therefore, I don't understand to what extent these freelancers would able to provide you support services. Yes, you have to have the professional experts, you have to have the proper team who can take you through, because freelancer again remain an individual. Today he may be doing and providing you services, tomorrow he may decide to move on, that not necessarily, in fact, he will be providing the similar kind of services in the same fashion, because he do not have that kind of bandwidth, he do not have that kind of infrastructure, he do not have that kind of capability, because again, he has his own limitations. He not having the complete team, not having understanding of the requirement, not having understanding of the support function, and of course cannot devote the time and attention to understand and know your business and the people. Where in fact outsourcing, as we discussed, is not just providing you the data entry, it gives you the wholesome support service to grow, to make you grow the organization. Because in any case, you are going to focus only on your business, and he would be providing his domain expertise to take your business to the next level. Therefore, it's always required and important if he take care of in wholesome manner. So therefore, a professional firm, a professional team is obviously a better bit than just a normal individual freelancer.
Before we have a look at the question, we would like Mr. Modi to give his point of view on what outsourcing is.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Sorry for joining you delay. Actually, Mr. Rajesh has already explained you about the benefits of outsourcing, but I will also give my perspective on outsourcing, and some of the key points which one should keep in mind while going for outsourcing is that. And obvious question definitely would be as to what would be the benefit if suppose one would go for outsourcing. Okay, that would be the first and foremost question in one's mind. And so I want to start with that. So there are 4 or 5 key benefits. Like suppose it's a new and very startup organization, then the first concern which organization would be having would be cost. Okay, as to what would be the cost, what would be the other aspects of the whole situation. So, as far as the cost is concerned, because we do a lot of analysis around outsourcing, and my experience is that you can have at least 30 to 40% saving out of this outsourcing activities. And this would be for very well established organization. Okay, but if you talk about a startup organization, then sometimes this saving would be much more than 30%. Because like if suppose there is an established organization and they want to outsource one particular process, okay, then there will be a saving of 30%. But if suppose a new startup company is there which want to start a new function, or suppose say take example of F&A outsourcing. So if suppose they want to create a full blown department, finance department, then their cost would be much higher, whereas volume would be very low in the beginning.
So, we discussed about cost benefit. Okay. So, depending upon the situation, definitely it would vary, but there will be a substantial saving without any say. And then next benefit definitely would be around efficiency timelines. Okay. Because if suppose a particular target is given to an outsourcing, and on the basis of that they can give you a target that we require this much time. So without fail, you will get those outputs from the outsourcing agencies. Whereas sometimes what happens that if suppose your own employees is working on these things, then probably you won't be able to monitor that much. And secondly, if suppose they have multiple responsibilities, then sometimes they won't be able to complete that particular activities. Whereas if you assign this particular activity to outsourcing agency, defining a complete scope, then whatever timeline is defined by the company, okay, you will without fail you will get all the information on a timely manner. So that would be one of the key advantage, because nowadays you know that information is something which is very important. And if you will get information on a timely manner, then probably you can take a lot of benefit out of it. But if suppose redundant information is provided to after some time, then probably it is of no use to you. For example, suppose we need to do aging analysis of data receivables. Okay, and timely report is generated and it is provided to operation, to marketing, to management. Then they can have constructive discussion around those things. Okay, and then you can tightly control your business, and you can recover your money on a timely manner. Whereas suppose this kind of information is provided very late, then sometime you will lose focus, and then you won't be able to do whatever is required to be done. So that is again an advantage of outsourcing. Then as Rajesh ji was mentioning, that domain expertise is very important, because for an organization, particularly for those organizations which is a startup organization or mediocre organization, it is very difficult to create in-house expertise for each and every area. For example, legal. Within legal, there are so many domains, like service tax is there, TDS is there, okay, then VAT is there. So if you really want to address these things, okay, then probably you will have to either 2-3 people or one person who can have expert knowledge of all these areas, which sometimes you feel that it is very difficult. Whereas if you would outsource these kind of activities, particularly legal activities, then you will get very expert knowledge around these activities. And wherever you are getting involved in any kind of non-compliances, or wherever you feel that you might attract some penalties, okay, wherever there are any benefits, or that benefits are not taken by the company, then those can be addressed on a very timely manner. And sometimes you feel that the consequences of these kind of penalties or delays or non-compliance are very huge. And if these will be addressed on a timely manner, then the compliance cost is very less in comparison to those penalties, and later on, if suppose there is any litigation around those matters. Okay, so domain expertise is something which is very important, because if you would go for outsourcing, then the outsourcing agency would provide you the best of the best expert knowledge of that particular area, which would definitely help to grow your business. Okay, and at the same time, if suppose you won't be able to devote much time on these unnecessary things,
which is not your core domain, then you can focus more and more on your business, and you can support your business to achieve the growth which you desired or which you targeted. Okay, so these are some of the key benefits. Rest of the things, what we will do as and when we'll take up the questions, we'll start addressing. But these are very obvious and very apparent benefits which one can take from outsourcing.
Thanks a lot, sir. We have just got a question floating in from Deekshant, who says, how outsourcing firms secure your data, which is confidential?
So, so basically, as a part of outsourcing exercise, what you normally do in the beginning, you enter into a non-disclosure agreement. Okay, so that is a legal and binding agreement, which is there between the outsourcing agency and the company. Okay, so that is one thing that the confidentiality of data is maintained. And secondly, like if you say that how those data can be secured. Okay, so like if suppose it's a big organization, then and if we are working on company server itself, then like whatever internal policies are there, that is followed by the consultant as well. Okay, but if suppose it is a complete outsourcing, even the system is being used by the company, which is provided by the outsourcing agencies, then we have full blown, you can say, data security system, whereby for each and every such information, proper backup is kept. Even like if suppose we are into payroll outsourcing also. Okay, so for example, like the in payroll outsourcing, what we do, like we have one processing center in Pune, and second one is based out of Bangalore. Okay, so what we normally do, other than keeping those data at the remote location, the data is kept on these two locations also. And if suppose there is any miss happening in Pune, okay, then immediately one can start operation from Bangalore, and he can process those data, and it is updated on real time basis. Okay, so there are various means and ways whereby complete data security is ensured. Like if you will implement those things within your system, okay, then your compliance your cost of maintaining those data security will be very high. But if it is done by the outsourcing agency, then it is part and parcel of the outsourcing activities, and you need not to create any separate infrastructure for that.
Rightly said by Subodhi. In fact, as he mentioned that, if suppose someone having expertise, having domain expert and understanding of the importance of data, probably in fact he know what is the value of this data. I mean, if you have outsourced to some professional agency, it's not only for your own data, it's not only for one client's data, but for the complete business. It's their, I mean, bread and butter. So they understand that to what extent this data is important to them. Obviously, in fact, signing NDA, having non-confidentiality clause is important, but simultaneous to that, that is also important that how secure they keep the data. I mean, like we, as Subodhi mentioned, in fact, we have a couple of places, therefore we maintain the data at properly and backup is available. Not only that, we even get the NDA signed and confidentiality agreement signed with our own employees itself. Because, eventually, today they are working with us, tomorrow they may be working with some of the competition also. So therefore, that becomes imperative. Whereas not necessarily the people working in your organization or in any organization would also be serving and providing those kind of services. So therefore, it is important, and of course, we are any outsourcing agency, if it is a professional firm, would certainly be taking care of those kind of aspects.
For all the guests who have joined us right now, I would like to tell you that you can post your comments on our website, Let's Comply Knowledge Hub, and our experts will answer your queries instantly. For now, we have a question by Mr. Satya Raja, who asks, what do I have to change in order to outsource? In an existing organization, what are the changes that he'll have to make in order to outsource his business?
So, Satya, basically, like as far as the change in the existing system is concerned, if you go for outsourcing, okay, so there might be two scenarios. Okay, one is that if suppose you have very well established system which you want to outsource, okay, So in that case, there may be scenario like, suppose if you don't want to keep those people on your role, so immediately those people can be taken on our role, okay, and then we will supervise those people. That may be one scenario. Okay. Second scenario may be like if you don't you want to create that particular process, and for that you want to outsource some activities to outsourcing agencies. So in that background, because we have expert knowledge, we have domain expertise available with us. So as far as your process is concerned, to make it up and running, it will hardly take any time. We simply come to you, we will understand your requirement, we will understand your existing process, and if suppose that process is required to be further strengthened, then we give suggestion around those processes, and immediately it can be implemented. And from, you can say, best to best, within few days you will start getting inputs around those processes. So as far as these things are concerned, probably you need not to do much exercise being an organization, because that is again one of the benefit of outsourcing agencies, because they have domain expertise, they have complete infrastructure. Only you need to provide transaction level information to your outsourcing agencies, and they will immediately get it done for you. Okay, like for again I'm mentioning the payroll outsourcing, because that is one of the very complex process. So for payroll processing, if suppose your existing setup system is there, then whatever backup information is there, like in terms of salary, in terms of any other arrangement with the employees, if you will provide us those backup information, then we have ready software, ready system available, and we can, like if suppose 1st January, if you will provide us these information, then your January salary can be processed by us, and on 7th of February, suppose that is a pay day, you will get a complete pay sheet without putting any effort in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, in terms of anything. Only thing is that one time transition may take 5 to 7 days, and then whenever you feel that there is any updation, you need to provide that updation to us, and things will be taken care for you.
So therefore, I mean, there is not much of changes required. It is, I mean, being a domain expert, we understand the complications, we understand the expectations, we understand the present situation, and understanding and experience gives an edge, so that we, without giving any interruption to your business, we immediately take it over. We probably will expect you some kind of tolerance, some kind of patience, maybe probably for few days, wherein some kind of this knowledge transfer may take some time, but there would not be any change required. It would be immediately taken over. One other thing which we experienced, I mean, some of the organizations do ask that we have people, those are working on any particular domain. What we do with those people? We welcome those people. We even can absorb in our system also, because of the sheer their knowledge and time they have spent, they are understanding. Certainly would like to improvise this kind of working, in the sense that they also come up with the kind of expectations and development of the professional environment wherein we work and provide our services to them, but they can also be absorbed in our system, and so that the kind of learning which they have over a period of time can also be provided to the same organization, but instead of being an employee, but as a client, so that probably the quality is improved. So that's the only advantage. Apart from that, there is no concern from the point of view of your business.
Thanks a lot, sir. Satya, I hope that answers your question. The next question is coming in from Sandeep, who wants to ask that, is your business or organization too big or too small for outsourcing work?
Client's business.
Yes.
I mean, as we discussed that having business too big or too small is irrespective of outsourcing the operations, because if you ask me, in both the two scenario, it is important to have utilization of expert, in the sense that if it is too small, all the more reason that you should focus on your major and core activities rather than choking your bandwidth to all the activities. If you are focusing on all the activities, you are obviously compromising on your main business. You are obviously compromising on your core activities. If you are compromising, your growth will certainly get impacted. If your growth is impacted, you will never be able to grow more, and obviously you probably be a jack of all or master of none. And in that case, what will happen is neither you will able to grow nor you could able to understand what kind of the support functions are. So therefore, specifically initial days, it is very important to know that. However, if you have grown and you certainly, in fact, growth is a kind of I would say phenomena which no one say that yes, I have reached to the culmination. You always at any point of time would like to keep growing. So even if whatever level you have reached to, however bigger you are, even today's date, even Reliance, Tata's, Ambani, in fact, they have reached to, they are doing quite good, quite big. And if you see in the last 30, 40 years, they have grown. But still, their, hunger for growth has not yet been finished. So whatever level of big you have achieved to, still you would like to focus upon your core activities. You like to focus upon your marketing, your business development, your operational part, so that your major growth in business happens. And obviously, in fact, either you basically focus upon your support function or you focus upon your business function. It all depends. And certainly, yes, focusing upon more on the business will help you more to grow faster. So it's irrespective whether you are small or you are big. Both ways it can help. I'm sure, in fact, Subodhji would support to that. In fact, he may like to add furthermore, because he has already, as I mentioned, in the initial time itself, he has audited all kind of organizations, small and big, as in fact he was part of EY. So he's seen, in fact, even if the biggest organization also having concern, and of course small concern having their own kind of this thing. So Subodhji can add further.
Yeah, as Rajesh ji mentioned that I think as far as the outsourcing is concerned, it is not having any relation with the small organization or bigger organization, because there are certain benefits which is available for both the scenarios. Okay, be it cost saving, be it efficiency, be it expert domain. Okay, so like sometimes you find that the bigger organization is having very heavy cost structure. Okay, and the kind of benefit and the kind of information they want. Okay, either they are restricted to very limited thought process, or they are not getting those kind of inputs or benefits, though their cost structure is very high. Okay, so even we have taken the example of bigger organization like Reliance or like any other organization, Aditya Birla Group or whatever. So even these kind of organization are nowadays going for more and more outsourcing. Okay, because one organization may be having very limited knowledge, but the outsourcing agency would be having knowledge of the complete scenario of that particular domain. Okay, so they would always be in a better position to provide you very expert knowledge around that particular process, and can add lot of value for you. Whether you must be having best of the best system available in your system. Okay, you may be 40 years, 50 years old organization having very big operation, but still the kind of domain expertise and the kind of day-to-day knowledge which is required to further ramp up that operation is something which is very important. And because the for outsourcing agency, this is something which is bread and butter for them, and that is something which is the you can say key success factor for them. So knowledge sharing, knowledge and the system implementation is something which is very important for them. So best of the best technology, best of the best updation you will get in any kind of scenario. And particularly like if you take the example of a startup company, for a startup company, sometimes it is not even feasible to create that kind of infrastructure within the company. Okay, so even it may be much more beneficial for them to go for outsourcing, because if suppose they want to create expert domain within the organization for each and every area, say legal, financial or whatever, then the kind of cost which would be there, that is exorbitant, and nobody can even afford to go for that costing. Whereas paying a very nominal amount, you can get the same kind of output, knowledge and expertise. Okay, and you can be in a better position to focus on your key area, your business, and you can grow them in a better manner.
Thank you, sir. The next question comes from Mr. Atul Levar. He was concerned about whether communicating virtually will be able to bridge a gap between delivering the outsourced services efficiently. So what he needs to ask is the virtual services that are coming up right now these days, will it be able to match the actual face-to-face communication?
Yeah, it's because I believe the technology and the communication is like we are having this camp. So whether we would be sitting in the same room, or whether we are you are sitting outside, or you are sitting in Mumbai, that doesn't make any difference. So communication is becoming more and more, you can say, efficient, and providing a lot of values. So because like 20 years back, if suppose we would have spoken about outsourcing, then it might not have been that much relevant. But now it's a technology age. You will, in many of the cases, you will find that US-based companies outsourcing their operation to India, and communication is not something which is creating any kind of hurdle. That is giving a lot of benefit, and like whatever queries, whatever issues one can have, okay, that can always be discussed over phone, or mail. And then response time, particularly for if it is given to an outsourcing agency, sometimes you will find that the response time would be much faster than what communication level is there within the same organization, sitting in the same room. Because each and every activity is time bound, okay, and time is something which is very important for an outsourcing agency, and that is set in the beginning itself when you go for outsourcing. And then that is something which is a bible for outsourcing agency. So I don't foresee that there might be any challenges around virtual communication or real time communication.
Now, I'd like to hear, of course, nothing as offensive, as in fact, I have been part of corporate world for more than 2 decades, and I have seen at times what happens is that even if sitting in the same office, maybe in fact sharing the same wall, but still kind of record creation. In case of, skin saving, you still can produce, because otherwise, in case of verbal discussion or handing over documentation, still you need some kind of process. So not necessarily that you have to have the physical transactional happening, but obviously, most importantly, if you have willingness to work, again, nothing to point out and mention that yes, within the organization people don't work, because though in fact I've been working, and of course after learning from that, I started this venture where in fact providing support virtually. At least, if you have outsourced, you have fixed the responsibility of somebody who has to deliver. Whereas probably within the organization, if you have not outsourced, the responsibility is not fixed, and the things remain ping pong. You shift the responsibility to somebody else, and he also further shifts to somebody else. And at the end of the day, the action is not happening. So therefore, nothing wrong. I won't say that people sitting in-house don't work, but it is important to what extent you can fix the responsibility and with the specific SLAs. You know that these are the transactions to be happen, and of course, these are time frame to be executed, because then responsibility is there, and he has to deliver, because that's his bread and butter. And but unless he deliver, your own employee probably, he has to spend time in the daytime, and of course, at the end of the day, 6 o'clock, he just punches his card, he goes back, irrespective of the delivery or execution happens or not. So it is always better, even if it is virtually or manually. At the end of the day, the execution of responsibility is important. And today's world, it's not those days when in fact even to communicate, you need to book the trunk call and then wait for the STD call to be made. Things are in fact pretty fast. Like in fact, at this point of time, like we are not across the table, but still we are talking and having complete discussion, and we are answering to your questions. So I think so in fact virtually also we can communicate all these things.
And one example I actually want to add, like as I told you earlier, that we are into payroll outsourcing as well. So like, have you seen any such scenario whereby employees, suppose there are 1,000 employees, and 15 or 20 employees raised particular query, and that is resolved on the same day. But in outsourcing business, particularly when we go for any payroll outsourcing, there is a written rule in our organization whereby all the queries raised by the employee is answered in the same day by evening, and next day he will be having answer in his mailbox. So and then in normal scenario, when HR is sitting next to you, If you will raise query, then sometimes it takes months or days to get the right answer.
Thank you, sir. We have a query by Ms. Dilisha, who wants to ask that while outsourcing, what are the criteria that she should look forward to choose the right vendor for the outsourcing services?
Yeah. So, like the first and foremost aspect which you need to keep in mind, like definitely if you go for outsourcing, you must be having certain expectations. Okay, in terms of delivery, in terms of timeline, in terms of cost, in terms of knowledge sharing, in terms of domain expertise. So these are 4 or 5 things which you need to keep in mind when you really go for choosing a particular outsourcing agencies. Okay, so if suppose though nowadays most of the sourcing agency provides all the information, all the support across all the activities or the functions, like whether it is legal, whether it is financial or accounting or whatever. Okay, so then definitely being a client, you should have that level of comfort that you are getting best of the best services. Outsourcing agencies meeting your timelines, they are providing you a lot of value addition, like in terms of, like if suppose you have a particular MIS system which is there in company for last 20 years. So what value addition your outsourcing agency is creating for you, what kind of differentiation they are creating for you in terms of value addition, that is something very important. Okay, and then definitely one important aspect is cost also, as to what kind of cost you are saving. But my view is that cost should not be the only factor when you really go for outsourcing. There are so many other factors like the quality, the expert domain, the efficiency, the kind of value addition which one can provide. So all these factors should be taken into consideration while one go for outsourcing.
I totally agree to this thing that outsourcing should not be looked at reduction of cost, whereas it should be looked at the better productivity, the better quality, and understanding of information and availing the services of professionals who can deliver better. You don't know what is the definition of the better services. Reason that in fact you got into the habit of getting some kind of data processing happening in such a scenario, whereas how that can be improvised, probably if you hire the right talent, if you hire the right vendor, if you hire the right people who has a better understanding, they may explain you and suggest you and help you, assist you to get and extract more from the same data rather than what actually you are extracting from the same. So therefore, outsourcing, I mean, not necessarily, maybe initially it is not a cost saving, eventually yes, certainly it is, but should not be looked at as only the cost reduction the process, but also how to have a look at improvised manner and how to look at the system and the process better so that your organization actually grow. So I mean, that's the parameter I would like to take it forward.
Thank you, sir. The next question is from Mr. Shiva Daga, who says, is virtual monitoring of work an efficient and effective as a traditional monitoring system amidst the delivery outsourcing services?
Yeah, I think so. In fact, probably some part of it being answered also in one of the previous questions, wherein we discussed that how virtual monitoring is important, all these things. I think in fact, Subodh can discuss and explain more detail because some part of it already is explained, but we can have further discussion on this.
Because
we have to see one more thing that we are, I mean, I think so, reaching towards the end of our time, but anyway, we'll see in fact if some more
briefly,
we can touch the yes, exactly.
Briefly, I will address that as far as virtual monitoring is concerned, like if suppose you have assigned something to your outsourcing agencies, then clear-cut parameters, timelines, and everything is agreed upon in the beginning itself. Okay, and the key performance factor is that only. Okay, so you need not to have any kind of special monitoring for that. By default, you will get all the information which is agreed in the beginning. So sometime you will find that it may be more efficient way of getting the information rather than sitting in a same room or in a real time environment.
Guys, we'll be taking a few more questions. After that, you can still post your queries on Let's Comply Knowledge Hub. And you can see the live stream of the video. If you have missed out on something, you can see the live stream of the video on this link itself. You can scroll back and see the previous conversation if possible. The next question is coming in from
Manish.
Mr. Manish, who asks, will outsourcing companies having multiple projects at their hands devote as much attention as to their clients' work as compared to the in-house department?
Manishi, I think so. I don't consider that as a threat. Reason that any organization, I would say, would have to have the multiple clients. Most of the clients may be coming from the same domain. We are bound by the NDA, we are bound by the confidentiality agreement. So it is not, but yes, as I mentioned, probably one of the previous question, that at times what happens is that you may choose to appoint some freelancer, then appointing a professional firm. And at times what happens is that if your organization is growing, you probably decide to hire that freelancer as full-time employee itself. And since that person now become employee of yours, at that point of time, some kind of biasness would be there. But apart from that, if you are hiring a professional firm, where in fact you are signing a proper legal and binding contract and agreement, this kind of concern should not be there. Very simple reason that it is their business, and no one would like to compromise on their business just because of one client. Probably, in fact, one of the client may be asking for that, I want this information to be shared. It happens recently, not only recently, but time and again, where in fact we at times do not only in fact the people, those who are working, we have divided the people also into different silos as per the industry, and having developed those kind of expertise from the same domain, and they work for the same kind of clients always. That way they improve their capabilities, and even the best practices of those clients can also be utilized in such a manner so that your organization will also get benefit. So rather than having any concern or any threat in your mind, you should feel that yes, people from the expert domain providing after understanding and having better domain understanding and best practices, they probably can give you the better results. Subodhi would like to add.
Yeah, because I don't think that should be a concern, because it should be a concern for outsourcing agency whether they are capable of handling that account or not. Because in the beginning itself, like whenever any project is handed over to outsourcing agencies, that they clearly identify a team, and that team definitely would be having domain expertise, relevant experience, industry knowledge. So they, in any case, they would be much more efficient than what is normally done in house. So and that is the one of the most prominent advantage of outsourcing. So that should not be a concern for anybody in my view.
Thank you, sir. John from jc@creative.com wants to ask that outsourcing companies may have our competitors as their clients. How to ensure competitiveness and confidentiality in that case?
I think exactly the same replication of the question, which we just replied back. If I'm not wrong, in fact, I don't see that as a concern or threat. Rather, in fact, it's an advantage. So that, in fact, probably, I don't know, the kind of level of client he is, maybe in fact he's comparatively smaller or bigger, but the thought process of the employee of the outsourcing agency may be the same who is delivering the quality of services to the big organization also. Probably would be providing a similar kind of services to a smaller kind of organization also. I would say rather probably the small organization may not hire or retain good talent, whereas the big organization can certainly be. So in that scenario, if somebody not able to hire a good talent, still getting the services of a senior and good talent, so therefore that's an advantage. Nothing wrong, in fact, no competition or not a threat. So this is not a concern, even if it is the outsourcing agency providing services to the competition also, it's an advantage. So should not be having any kind of concern for that matter.
And like one thing which I want to add here, like normally within the organization it is ensured, because definitely NDA is there and confidentiality agreement is there. But in addition to that, we internally we normally built up a process whereby if suppose there is a competition and if there is a challenge around confidentiality, then normally the same kind of work is assigned to different team. Okay, and the team is also bound by the NDA, whereby they can't share any confidential information, even with his colleague. So that is one thing. But at the same time, like Rajesh ji mentioned, that sometimes what happens that through your experience you can provide a lot of benefits to your client. So to that an extent, definitely you will get benefit. But as far as the confidentiality and the protection of those data are concerned, that is 100% ensured in outsourcing kind of environment.
The next question is from Mr. SK Kaushik. He wants to say that normally outsourcing agencies are selected on L1 or the lower cost basis. In such a process, if we are not pricing our products right, we may lose on getting the quality people from our job. So how do we ensure getting the right people?
I mean, I understand normally this kind of L1 process is being considered, I believe so, either in PSUs or the government sector, because the private sector, irrespective of the L1 or the lowest cost, but they also look for the quality. Mr. Kaushik, in fact, I understand that this is important. Cost always a concern, not only for the government or PSU, but also for the private sector as well. I don't understand why have you mentioned that by going this way, you may tend to lose the kind of contract. Probably that you may be thinking that outsourcing is an expensive affair. I would say probably initially yes, when you want to start the process and you learning is there in place, maybe some amount of extra cost, but eventually this would certainly help. Reason that would help you not only in terms of reduction of cost, but also to grow and increase your business. If you increase the business and you see the kind of benefit and the revenue in fact you are getting because you are concentrating and focusing on the business, probably the cost that also significantly will be down, because you have to take care that the kind of mental freedom, the kind of focus on your core business is also delivering the quality output and client satisfaction, because then probably you'll be able to devote more time to the clients also. So I don't see, in fact, that is a kind of problem to all these things. But yes, I mean, initially, yes, we have to be very careful to selection and choosing of your vendor, who understand your business, who understand the process, who actually is being into the business for long, who has delivered previously, who has a proven track record, because the kind of process which you're talking about, sorry, the kind of process we are talking about is knowledge sharing, which comes over a period of time by way of shared experience, just by reading books and going. I mean, if the reading books is enough, then I think so. Labyrinth would have been the intelligent enough, in fact, to solve all the problems. It is the experience which deliver and which help you to tackle all the kind of problem which you may face during the process of your business.
Yeah. So just to add one small thing. So you should have one mantra in your mind when you go for outsourcing, or when you consider L1 or whatever scenario. You should do cost benefit analysis. Okay. So in terms of cost, what kind of benefits you are getting in terms of efficiency, in terms of better information, value addition. So in my view, L1 should not be the only factor which should be considered, but you should do a very thorough analysis of cost benefit analysis before you decide for any kind of outsourcing. And wherever value, suppose you are paying X value, but you are getting X plus benefits. Okay, but if you are paying X minus one amount, but you are getting benefit X minus 2, then it doesn't make any sense to anybody. So L1 should not be the only criteria in my view. Main thing is that whether your business objective is met or not. In any case, when you would go for outsourcing, you will have some or other benefit. As I mentioned in the beginning, that you should, by benchmarking, you have at least 34% benefit. So instead of 30%, if suppose it would be 25%, then it doesn't make any difference to your business. But if you are getting more value, then that is something which is more important for you.
With this, we are about to reach the end of our session. Before ending the session, we would like to take one last question from Mr. Ramakrishna, who wants to ask that how is outsourcing service the best tool for startups in terms of financial and legal realm?
Mr. Ramakrishnan, yes, it is undoubtedly. If you see, when we started today's webinar, the very first thing I mentioned specifically for startup, because he, of course, have a limited amount of talent available initially, need not to have spent too much on the hiring people, but to avail the, but obviously would like to avail the services of the best and experienced people. He may not be able to retain the senior people as well, So therefore, the best tool available to him is outsource. Reason that by way of outsourcing, he can keep his cost in control. He can avail the best of the services. He can avail the best and senior professionals. And obviously, he needs to create a kind of environment and enterprise, which of course tomorrow create a good value. He has to attract the investor. He has to ensure that applicability of the system, process and design which he has created should give a proper organizational structure, and just not enough, but also to create legal structure of that organization. To what extent that's helpful? Probably can have some kind of ESOP development so that he can retain good amount of people and talent, because all these things are very important and paramount for any business. This thing, and obviously startup needs much more attention. So rather than the promoter or the founder divert and divest and rather digress to his time and attention, he should focus only on the product and the business rather than to choke his bandwidth and get involved in each and every activity. So therefore, for startup, this is the best mantra to establish and grow faster. So there is no doubt for that.
Before we end, we have a question that has been posted by multiple guests, so we would tackle that also before we end the session. And the question is, how can I check the quality of the outsourcing services?
Checking quality of outsourcing services, of course, there are various parameters. I don't know how you ensure the quality of product and services. These are services, and checking the services, quality of services very clearly. One, of course, by way of the person with whom you have shared, by way of the kind of organization you have shaken your hands to. So therefore, in fact, you decide the vendor, you decide the people to whom you shake hand, and of course their existing capabilities, and obviously, in fact, to what extent that is helping you to take decisions, because legal and financial services helping you to do the cost benefit analysis, to do the right kind of system process development, to have the established setting up the controls and systems and processes, and obviously to grow faster, so that you are not concerned and much focused on any of these activities, but focus only on business. If someone can make you free from these kind of hassle, someone can make you free from any kind of legal compliance, someone can make you free for all kind of registration processes, someone can make you free to give you all kind of advisory services, someone can make you free to give you the right, help you in right, deciding the right decisions. I think that is the best person you can go with him.
With this, we reach the end of our session. Thanks for being such a wonderful audience and being patient with us. You can still post your queries on Let's Comply Knowledge Hub, and we'll answer your queries as soon as possible. You can see the recording of this video on our YouTube channel, Let's Comply. Thank you and have a nice day.